And you can see the double ID exhibit through October 20th at the Wright Museum. For the first time in its 83-year history, the Michigan Roundtable for Diversity and Inclusion has an African-American leader. Yusef Bunchy Shakur is the new co-executive director of the organization, which is also changing its name to Michigan Roundtable for Just Communities. Here's my conversation with Shakur about his new title and the new name of the nonprofit he now leads. Yusef Shakur, it's great to see you here on American Black Journal. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's talk about this new role, Michigan Roundtable for Diversity, which becomes Michigan Roundtable for Just Communities. And you're going to be the co-executive director, isn't that right?
Yes. I'm co-executive director with Steve. Talking about an 83-year organization who looks to cultivating and building beloved communities with organizations and neighborhoods to eradicate systematic racism, but also in bridging the gap between a lot of the dynamics. I think everybody wants to live in a just community, but in reality, not everybody lives in a just community.
Yeah.
So we're taking that name as addressing the elephant in the room to build beloved communities.
Yeah, let's talk about what that means to you. What is a just community, and what are the challenges that we have to making sure that everybody lives in one?
I think I like to quote Brian Stevenson, the lawyer, Just Mercy, the book and the movie, and he says there's power in proximity. So when we're shifting the name to Just Communities, we're shifting and reconnecting and saying that we want to be closest to the problem. We want to be closest to those who don't have, and being closest to those. Think as a child when you're sick and your mother comes and hugs you, and it makes you feel all that better, right? No matter where you at, and that we want to hug those individuals, and so when we think about a just community, we're recognizing that we don't live in a post-racial society. We don't live in a post-sexist society, and we want to address those things by creating better opportunities, by uplifting those who are suffering, but also recognizing, despite their suffering, they're making the best out of it, and by loving on them and by engaging them, they can be even better.
Yeah. So how does the work at the Michigan Roundtable change with this new leadership from you and with the name change? What will people notice is different?
One is where we're looking to, we've had a house in the neighborhood years ago, and we're looking to relocate back in the neighborhood where our house, our business will be in the neighborhood in terms of our day-to-day operation. It's just of how we approach the work, having a paradigm shift, the power dynamics of seeing regular folks, whether they're white, black, Asian, green, who are marginalized, oppressed, as the stakeholders, seeing that their personal experience as the expert in the room and engaging that and being able to leverage our organization to be able to move and influence others. We think that's our niche.
Yeah. When you think about the work that the Roundtable has done so far, what inspires you about what they've been able to do?
What inspires me, again, like we do criminal justice work and looking at data and being able to create some level of accountability and how data has been utilized as a weapon against people. And our goal is to de-weaponize that data. Speaking from those who are the most impacted, like that inspires me when you could talk to a mother or father or children and saying, despite where you at, you matter. Your life is worth something. You're the reason why we exist, why we do what we do.
Yeah. So if you think about the things that are going on right now and the conversations that we're having, it seems like a crazy time for issues like justice, right? It's harder. It's harder to fight for it. It's harder to articulate it without that pushback. Give me a sense from your chair of how that looks in Detroit and Michigan.
Well, it looks like it's still fresh off the plate. The young brother that was just recently murdered by the state police officers that
Yeah.
literally ran him over.
Run over by a car, right?
Yeah, right. I think we all wrestling with it. I don't think it's really has hit the news and hit people in our communities the way it should have. But but when you think about, when you ask that question, what do you want to be? And a lot of us, we say easily, I want to be a police officer. I want to be a fireman, or a firewoman. You're like, why? Because I want to make a difference. And those are noble things, and those are things to aspire. But then when you grow up and you lose that sight, you lose that reality because we've lost touch of what justice looks like. Here was an individual. His crime was running. His
Hmm.
crime wasn't that he had a weapon in his hand, and you literally like they ran him over. Like, how do you justify that? And how we alleviate that type of situation is by seeing the good in that person, by recognizing that the fact that their life still matters, even though you came there to arrest or detain this person, you still can do it in a manner that's respectful, engaging, and being willing to talk about those things, willing to confront that, because if not, we know that these things happen too often to Black bodies and go unrecognizable.
Yeah. So, does the roundtable have a chance to kind of bring the community closer to those who police us, or to bring those who police us around a table to talk about, hey, this is not the way to do it, and we can't have the things that are going on continuing?
That's something we do. We've been doing over 20 years through the All Pack community and policing. There's still a lot of work. We just had a recent meeting this past Friday where we had Dr. Reuben Miller, author of the book
Yeah,
Halfway Home, who's
yeah.
also he was our featured speaker at our tribute dinner, and he said a lot of powerful things. I think the most powerful is the fact that those individuals who made mistakes, they're still our neighbors. They're still in our community, but also in reality, we've all made mistakes. Some of our mistakes are not as public as others.
Hmm.
And as John Paul reminded us, we have to stop continuing to others. And we do that by, again, but and these are basic things of building a just community. These are basic things of building a beloved community, because in reality, we're taught discrimination. We're taught racism. It's not born in us, and so we have the ability to reteach people to how to be better human beings, to propagate a just community, a just society.
Yeah, yeah. So I also want to talk about some personal news for you. You
Yeah.
recently received a PhD, is that right?
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
That's a big deal. Tell me about
Yes.
that.
Oh, yeah. This is the last time I seen you. Yeah. I defended last November. Everything is finalized in January. My topic was looking at the social phenomenon of single Black motherhood and the stigmas that come with it. And
Wow.
so I challenged myself to look at this society through the lens of my mother, a Black woman.
Wow.
So to understand my oppression, I must understand her oppression, but also within that, I understand how through my mother's sacrifice and through her love that it positioned me to be able to achieve a PhD.
Wow. Wow. No, that's really great. And I'm sure that'll give you a big lift in the new
Yeah.
work.
Yes.
All right. So, Yusef Shakur, it's always great to talk
Yes.
with you. Congratulations again on the new role, and we'll look forward to seeing what you do next.
I appreciate it. Thank you, good brother. Have a good,
Yeah.
blessed rest of the day.